Good day and welcome to this edition of Saint Sports. My name is Dominic Papa, and after a week that we took off, a little vacation break, a little bit of a studio move, we're certainly glad to be back here in our new studio talking St. Clair College athletics. And oh boy, it's heating up. Of course, we've been talking to the football team. Great news with them. We'll talk to Coach Mike LaChance a little bit later on in this show. But some other teams are now joining league play. The men's and women's soccer teams will be in action. We're going to talk some soccer on this edition of Saint Sports. And we're going to start things off with the baseball programs. I better say softball or else I'll get in trouble with the softball people. Baseball and softball. So we're going to go right to head coach Doug Wiseman of the women's softball program. Good day to you, Coach Wiseman. Great to be talking to you again, and a very busy off season for you, but a very successful one by the sounds of it.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Dom. Yeah, we've been at it pretty hard, trying to secure some players and taking care of some positions that we need to address, and I firmly believe we've done that.
A pretty successful campaign last year. Obviously, a little bit coming up a little bit short in the Ontario Championship, which was hosted at the new field at St. Clair. But all in all, a pretty good campaign. Where did you want to, I guess, make a splash in the summer? What did you want to address in the offseason, Coach?
Well, we need to address a couple infield positions. We had some players who did admirable last year playing out of position, and I think played very well, but it was no secret that we needed to tighten up the corner and a middle infielder, along with an outfield position.
So, how successful were you?
I think we addressed all three and added two pitchers as well.
Really, wow! And one thing that's becoming maybe a good trend, you would tell you know better than I do, Coach, but you're picking up some recruits from over in the States.
That's correct. So the one with Brianna Kresser, she's been once COVID hit there, it allowed her to get an additional a year of eligibility. So I was in contact with her early on, and she became available, and she liked our program, and she's actually living in Windsor now. So it was a good fit, and we had some good conversations, and she was ready and willing to jump on board.
What type of impact are you expecting from her, Coach?
She can play. She can play pretty much anywhere on the diamond. But she plays really hard with some grit, and she's very attentive and a high IQ softball player, and she'll be right in the middle of the mix in the order.
No, she's one of the new players, one of the new faces in the lineup. Let's talk a little. Like I said, you had a very successful campaign last year. Who are some of the key players returning from that squad?
Well, we got Shayla Murphy back. She's returning. Amy Clayton's returning. Julie LaFleur is back also. She was an all-star center fielder last year. And Julia Brusso is also back, who was an all-star last year too. So, and there's also some other key players in the lineup as well who contributed just as well. But to mention, we added Sierra Baltzer was the last signing maybe just a few weeks ago, who decided to come to college because for academic reasons, and I think softball might have had some influence on it. But she's a star.
I guess you're getting some pretty big names, and some of them obviously are sticking around. Probably a couple of reasons for that, Coach. But first, let's address. We talked a lot about the new stadium, the softball stadium at the park, the sports park. And now that you got a year under your belt with it, you've established, the type of play I'm sure you want in that stadium. Give us your thoughts about the stadium, Coach, and how it's becoming even perhaps a home field advantage, a big home field advantage for your squad.
Well, definitely. We talked about that at the tryouts, what we're looking for, and the type of team we want to build around. And we want to get athletic, and we want to be speed, but we also want to be able to drive the ball. So we're looking at hitting the ball into gaps and get extra bases. we're also looking at cutting off those balls hitting the gap and keeping them to singles. So the outfield we're putting together is probably the fastest outfield we've ever had, and not only fast, but very, very good defensively too.
And it's no secret. It's already out, I'm sure. And I'm sure this has been talked about within camp with you and your squad, Coach. You're hosting the Nationals this year. That'll take place in October. Um, Obviously, I'm sure you want to go into the Nationals, on a winning note. Uh, it's almost, I don't want to say it's a distraction, but certainly it's got to be on the minds of the players, that knowing that they're going to be participating in this.
It's definitely a boost for sure, but it's also something for us to aim for. So I mean, our goal is pretty simple. It's to get better tomorrow than we were today, and that's the move we're making, and that's the direction we're going in. We're not targeting a certain day, but we just want to improve as people, players, and get better on the diamond each day. So we're throwing. It's a little more intense this year, and you see a lot more fire out of us.
Mm-hmm. We're talking to head coach Doug Wiseman of the women's softball team at St. Clair College on this edition of Saint Sports. Coach, you get things rolling this weekend. What a way to start the season, too. It's kind of like a three-team, I don't even know if I want to call it a tournament, but certainly a three-team round robin where Fanshawe and Lambton will be in town. You'll play each of those teams once, and they'll also play off against each other. It's all being hosted at the softball stadium at the St. Clair Sports Park. What a way to start the year, and how anxious are you to get it going there?
It's good. We're going to head up Friday to Mohawk and play two schools there as well. And we'll be returning Saturday night and getting ready to get on our field.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting stuff. And they did something like this last year, if I remember correctly, and it was pretty successful. How important are these three-team mini tournaments, I guess we'll call it?
Well, standings mean a lot in this league because it all goes about the seeding. So we're going to take every one game at a time, and we're going to try to put out some W's.
Yeah, W's are a good thing, that's for sure. So this all starts, like I said, on Sunday. The first game being at 10:30, and that'll be your Saints against Lambton. At 1 o'clock, Lambton and Fanshawe will play. And then at 3:30, it's the Saints and Fanshawe that will square off at the softball park. Coach, this is good stuff. I'm excited for you. Of course, We Digital will be there to bring you all the action. We look forward to that. And we'll be chatting again very soon to tell people more about your team.
Thanks very much. Looking forward to seeing you Sunday.
All right. That's Coach Doug Wiseman of the Saints softball squad. The other team that will debut this weekend with Saints Sports, Saints Athletics, is that of the men's baseball team. They are the defending champions. Roberto Duncan, the head coach, also returns to the helm. Good day to you, Coach. How are you? And how's the team coming along?
I'm doing good, Dom. Thanks for having me. Team's looking good. We actually have a little of a game today going between us. So we're getting a couple arms in shape for the weekend. 4 games coming, so we're excited for it.
You're coming off a championship season, Coach, but obviously graduations, things like that. There's holes to fill. What did you focus on in the off season to make sure that you were going to be okay for this year?
So mostly pitching. I think the gap that we had last year especially during the finals was pitching after a couple of our pitchers got injured. So I think I added probably about 4 or 5 arms during the off season. And other than that, I got a couple catchers, and I think I got an extra outfielder, and my whole infield is pretty much coming back. So that was good. Mostly pitchers.
Yeah, so obviously the bar is set here, Coach Duncan. It's not a matter of rebuilding. Fair to say it's a matter of reloading with this team?
Yeah. Yep, exactly. Yeah. So, like I said, a lot of the guys that we have in the infield, only my third baseman will be a new guy, and he's bringing a lot to the team. And I have a couple guys in the out. All the guys that I have in the outfield, just like Coach Doug Wiseman said, it's probably the fastest outfielder we ever had in the program, and it's just great defensively too.
Is there a secret not a secret formula, but is there a standard that is needed, Coach Duncan, to win at the OCA level? And if there is, what is it, and how good is your team in regards to that?
Well, if there's a standard, I don't know. I can tell that, but I would tell you that I think the secret will be to have a strong defense and good arms. Have enough arms to play that last part of the year, because it doesn't matter how many games you win at the beginning, right? That's just how hard you can finish. And I think we're prepared for it. We have guys that even though I have about 11 to 10 pitchers, I also have guys on the field that can throw a little bit if needed. So my hope is that I don't have to use them, but if I do, I have enough guys to get through to that part of the season.
As mentioned, your team is the defending champions, and obviously you got a good nucleus returning. No doubt, every team you play this season, Coach, there's a bullseye on your back. They
Yes.
all want to beat the champs, right? So how do you approach that? And how do you help the guys, just combat that bullseye that's there?
So usually the first meeting of the year, I always tell the guys the exact same you said. We have a target on our back, and everybody wants to beat us. It doesn't matter if you're new, if you're old. Everybody wants to beat St. Clair. Everybody say their best pitchers to throw against us. And my say is we need to want it more than what they do. So if they want to beat us, we have to work harder than they do to try to beat us. So that's pretty much the way I go, and the message that I send to the guys. And we have a winning culture, and I always tell them I want to keep it that way.
Any thoughts, Coach, as to who will be the teams that will concern you the most heading into the campaign?
Concern, I'm not sure if I can say concern, but teams that will compete for sure. I think Humber will still be one of those teams to beat. Last year, Durham had a pretty good team. I think they struggled at the end, but they can run, they can hit. They have a lot of lefties, and having a lot of lefties in this league with not so many left-handed arms, it's an asset. So I think Humber and Durham will probably be the teams to beat.
All right. Saints get in action at home here on Saturday. They'll take on George Brown, 4 and 6 p.m. Our game times, of course, they play all their games out at Lacoste Park. We Digital will be there to bring you that action on Saturday starting at 4 p.m. So we look forward to that, Coach. And also the team will be back in action on Sunday against Humber. You mentioned Humber as being one of those teams, so no question about it. It's going to be a great weekend of baseball out at Lacoste Park. Coach, we'll check back in with you throughout the season, and certainly look forward to watching your team play.
Sounds good. Thank you, Dom. Thanks for having me.
That's Coach Roberto Duncan of the men's baseball team. Going to switch sports now because, like I said, we got a lot going on at St. Clair. Soccer will make its debut. And, of course, the men and women both will be in action this weekend at home. We're going to check in with the men first. And that, of course, I don't know how many years it is now. It's got to be close to 30, though, that this guy's been at the helm of the men's soccer program at St. Clair. He does a great job, works extremely hard. Mike Barasilevsky joins us on the show. Good day to you, Coach Barasilevsky. And when I spoke to you yesterday, I loved your enthusiasm, the energy you had. Sounds like you're getting younger.
Well, are you talking about the players or me?
You, Coach, you got that youthful look, that energy. Hopefully it spills off over onto some of your players.
Well, listen, as long as I'm around those young guys, I'm going to feel much younger than I wouldn't otherwise. So, yeah, it's we're excited.
Yeah, tell us about the offseason, Coach, and like all the other teams, some players graduate, some players leave, so you have holes to fill. What did you have to address?
The usual stuff, common in college sports, and soccer's no different. There's going to be kids that move on because they're done with their programs, and certainly new blood coming in each and every year. It's a matter of what you get and when you get them, and we feel really good about what we're getting. Certainly last year we were a pretty young team. I think 7 or 8 of our guys, first 11, 12 guys were first-year players. So we feel good about them coming into their second year and experiencing soccer at the OCAA level. And we managed to bring in a few new guys, notably the Nizam brothers, Musa and Zane, and Riley Drakulik, who's come over from the university. School-wise, I'm not sure that he was in the soccer program there, but these are three really good players, and I think they will add a lot to our team because they're not really your typical 18-year-old kids coming out of high school. They're a couple years removed from the high school level, so loads of experience at the senior men's level soccer locally. Riley played with the Windsor TFC guys this year, so got a lot of experience with that. I had a chance to coach the brothers through the summer a little bit with our club team, and they're a couple of exciting players. So looking for a lot of good things from those three guys, amongst a few other guys that have come in.
Sounds like a good off season for you, Coach. Last year, of course, you hosted the Ontario Championship. You got to participate in it, and you won your way in. It wasn't because you were a host, which was nice. You earned your way into that championship tournament. Obviously, the results were what they were. You played against some of the best teams in Canada. With the returning players and having that experience, how important and how much of a factor will that be heading into this year?
Well, I think we're definitely going to be closing the gap, if not catching them. Again, the eventual winner was loaded up with 25, 26, 27-year-old guys getting their last kick of the can, as they say. And these were guys that were, they had been around looking at some professional play in previous years. So they decided to come back to Canada and go to school or finish up school. So I don't know that we're going to run into those types of teams again this year, but whenever you play the likes of Humber and Seneca and Sheridan, you're always going to run into some really, really good players, really good teams. And our goal is to be as close to them as possible, if not neck and neck with them.
The team, do you expect, Coach, to I mean, again, I know you set the bar high there, Coach, for the soccer club. Will it take some time? Will you need some time, or do you expect your team to get out of the gates very competitively?
We need to get out of the gates competitively, and I think we will. Again, I like our team. I think Kenny Holland used to say that a lot with the Red Wings. So I don't know. But I like our team this year, and because I think, again, the year's experience from the 1 year experience from a lot of the new guys last year. We got our captain coming back into his third year of play. And the new guys, so we're a little older, a little more mature, and I think a little stronger at just about every position. So, I see no reason why we can't get off the blocks running and going for it, because it's going to get tougher later on. So we better get to a good start, and I expect it.
Yeah, we saw that last year for sure, how that league just became more and more competitive. Your team was right in the mix there as well, Coach. You did a great job preparing them, getting into the championships and making them competitive. You got the 1 year under your belt at the new stadium. How much easier will it be this year to prepare, knowing what you know now about the stadium, the field, the way it works?
Well, I mean, the guys returning would definitely benefit a little bit more. It's home now. It's 1 year behind us, a training camp behind us. This is our fourth week. Basically getting ready for the season opener, and a few scrimmage games in the preseason. So familiar surroundings. Certainly, the guys have to know every little. Not that there's a lot of bumps on that turf, but they got to know every little corner on that playing surface, and so it's good that they're comfortable in their dressing room surroundings, and certainly it's home, and we got to take care of our home, as they say.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, you get the ball rolling. No pun intended there, Coach. But Friday, September 9th, Mohawk will be in. The women play at 5 p.m. They're under a new head coach of Steve Vanini. He was unavailable today, but Coach Vanini returns to the fold there. So we're looking for good things with him and a very young women's team. From what I understand, it's a little bit of a rebuilding mode there, but we'll talk to Coach Vanini down the road. Your team goes at 7 p.m., Coach. Of course, We Digital will be there to televise the game, or webcast it, I should say. And I can't wait to see your team play. I really enjoyed it last year, and I think it's going to be another fun season, Coach. So we wish you the best of luck with it.
Thanks, Dom. I thought we played some exciting soccer last year, and we look to continue that this year.
I look forward to it. That's Coach Mike Bereslevsky of the men's soccer team. Our last stop this week on the St. Sports, we'll call it a train because it's moving like a train very fast. The football team. Oh my, oh my, oh my. What a team they are. They are now a perfect 4-0, halfway mark of the schedule already for the Saints football team. They win a huge game last week in London. Both those teams were 3-0 going into it. The Saints come away with a 26-18 victory on the road. They will host that same London team this weekend. Coach Mike Lachance still has all of his hair. It's not gray. It looks good, Coach. What a great window on the road. Congrats on that. And the numbers indicate that St. Clair played very well in this contest. Okay, we don't have your audio there, Coach. I'm not getting your audio, Coach. Your mic is muted on your.
There you go.
There you go, Coach.
All right.
There you
go.
go.
The kids executed the game plan a lot better than I just executed that. No, the guys played really well. I mean, the offensive line really got off the ball and allowed some nice big holes for the running backs to exploit. And we rushed for 360 yards. So it was a good day offensively, and defensively we did what we normally do. We played fast and physical. So when you do those things, you give yourself a real good chance to win.
So many subplots to this game last week, Coach. Obviously, the championship game last year. Last year you went 2-0 against them during the regular season. You've already started that road again this year. Just you two know each other. It's really the two teams have really set the standard for the OFC for the last few years now. What's it mean to win this game? I mean, you put yourself kind of in the driver's seat, to hold down first place. Obviously, this weekend's game is just as important, though. But what's it mean to win this game at this point in the schedule?
Well, they're the defending champs, so as much as we like to think that we're the measuring stick in the league, when you've got the championship trophy in your dressing room, you're the measuring stick. So until someone takes it away from them, the London Beefeaters are the reigning champs, and it feels good to beat them. I mean, if you want to be the best team in the league, you got to beat the best team in the league. So it was good measuring stick for us, but it's 1 of 8. Really, that's how we look at it, and I know that's coach cliche speak. It's kind of boring that way, but it's when it gets down to it, that's the way it is. Every week is just as important as the next, and you just take them one step at a time and one practice at a time. And I think our kids have done a really good job of it this year. And maybe we didn't really look at it like that last year as much. Maybe we had a bigger prize too close into the radar. And this year we're really focused on what we're doing today.
Mm-hmm. You did say right from day one, though, Coach, that this team is going to be different from week 1 to what you see in what will be week 8 in 4 weeks. But during that time, obviously, you're looking for progress, improvement, again, bringing a complete game, so to speak. Fair to say that step was taken against London last week. You saw more improvement and steps that were needed.
Yeah, I thought we really improved from week to week. I thought we've improved every week of the season, but this one was a real big jump. And last week, we had our best week of practice. Probably, I told some of the guys on staff, it might be the best week I can remember in recent history in the last few years anyways. It was really focused on all 3 facets of the game. Everybody was kind of locked in. It looked like everybody had like a renewed sense of energy. And sometimes when you play, I mean, the schedule, we had Quinty twice, and no offense to Quinty, but it's hard to get guys up for that game. They know they're going to go in. They're probably going to win. The starters know they're only going to play a quarter or 2 at the most. In this game against London, it was everybody was locked and ready to go, and it was a nice trip. And the guys really focused in on it. And I thought they took not only one step, I thought we took a couple steps forward. So hopefully we can keep that momentum rolling.
What do you have to guard against, Coach LaChance, coming home against London and having that victory under your belt from last week? What do you have to make sure the guys don't take for granted here?
I don't think with this group, I don't think I have a lot of work to do that way. I think we've got a really good leadership group with our captains and our positional leaders. And I think we've got a pretty good staff that'll keep guys focused in. The biggest thing is having a deep roster. And I think at every position we have competition. And guys know even from week to week, from London to London, from week 4 to 5, if you're not doing it in practice, you're not going to even get the opportunity in the game because someone's going to take your job. So I think competition in practice keeps everybody focused. And that's something that we have greater this year than we ever have in my time coaching in Windsor, both with the Fratmen and now with the Saints. The depth is just tremendous at every spot across the board. And guys really stay locked in and stay true to the game that way.
Obviously, a victory puts you at 5-0, Coach, and it would really put you in the driver's seat to finish in first place. Is that being talked about, or is that just too soon and you just take it a game at a time, or maybe even a quarter at a time?
Yeah, we're taking it a day at a time in practice. So I told the guys I want Wednesday this week to be better than Wednesday was last week. And we just want to get better every day incrementally, even if it's a 1% improvement. If every guy improves 1%, we're better as a team. So everybody's just kind of ready to go. And I think everyone's really looking forward to Saturday night. It's going to be a raucous atmosphere with the homecoming. A big crowd expected, whiteout in the stadium. So I think everybody's super pumped up about that. And we're going to give our best, and that's all we could do. And it's a different team than it was last year. People who saw us play last year, we threw the ball around the yard. We were able to run the ball, but we're more of a passing team this year. I think that if the game comes down to it, and London wanted to play some smash mouth football in the game, and they really ran the ball well too. But when we can get off the ball in that big offensive line, they average 6'4", 340 pounds. So when we get that group moving, we're pretty hard to stop.
The CJFL has you ranked number 2 in the country, Coach. Congrats on that. I personally don't like that kind of stuff. I don't know. What are your thoughts about that? And boy, you just want to hope that the guys maybe look at it and say, okay, it's nice, but doesn't mean anything really.
It's fun. I mean, it's fun for the fans. It's fun for the families. It's for the kids like it. I mean, it's all hype, right, with their social medias and stuff right now. But, I mean, guys like us who have been around the league for a long time seem like I've coached forever. The national rankings have never meant much other than that they're fun to have. I think even if you look at the NCAA, if you're not playing each other, how do you really rank each other? So we're just looking at the OFC right now. To compete nationally, you got to do your thing in the OFC. And quite frankly, we failed in the end the last couple of years. So we're really looking to finish the deal in the OFC, and that's our main focus right now is every day just competing at the OFC level. And we've got London in our crosshairs right now. That's the team that we want to focus on. We want to be better than them because they're the best team in the league. So we were better than them last Saturday. We got to do it again.
I know you have the guys ready, Coach, and as you mentioned, there's a lot of buzz about this game already. I've talked to several people. They've asked me about it. I've told them, to go to the stadium. It's a great night, great atmosphere, great place to watch the game. So I'm sure we're going to have a really good crowd there. It's homecoming, as you mentioned. So 7 o'clock kickoff against the London Beefeaters. Of course, Digital will also be there. If you can't make it to the game, watch the webcast, but we would much prefer if you went to the stadium. It's just a lot better that way, and you don't have to put up with me on the broadcast, so it's a good thing. But, Coach, appreciate your time here as always. We'll look forward to seeing you on Saturday, and congrats on everything up to this point.
Thanks, Tom. I appreciate it.
All right, that's Coach Mike LaChance of the football team. Now, again, just to review quickly, busy weekend of athletics coming up at St. Clair College. First on Friday, the men and women's soccer teams will make their home debut. They'll take on Mohawk. The women go at 5 p.m., the men at 7 p.m. Saturday is an extremely busy day for Saints athletics. The baseball team will be in action at Lacoste Park, the men's baseball team. They'll play against George Brown. Game times at 4 and 6 p.m. So if you want to get out and watch some good college baseball, you want to head out to Lacoste. Of course, the football team kicking off at 7 p.m. out at Acumen Stadium. And then Sunday, another busy day of action with St. Clair Athletics. The baseball team, the men's baseball team, will take on Humber. Those will be afternoon games. And the softball team will play in a 3-team mini tournament. The Saints on that day, on Sunday, will play at 10:30 and 3:30. Lambton and Fanshawe will be the opponents. Lambton and Fanshawe will play at 1 o'clock against each other. So a lot of good stuff happening with the Saints athletics department. That's this edition of Saints Sports. Hope you enjoyed it. Come back next week. We'll continue our coverage of Saints athletics here on We Digital Productions. Until then, this is Dominic Papa wishing you a great day. Take care, everybody. We'll talk to you again soon.